So one of the big things, and you see this all the time, and I think you see it because it's not sexy, is that when you're looking to grow a business, people always say, it's all about sales, it's all about marketing and getting the word out there, getting more customers. And that's only partly true, and I'm going to try and explain why. Business. Okay. So if you're going to look to grow a business, generally there's two different sides to it. You have sales, which is what most people focus on, in that you want to sell more, which makes sense if you have a business that sells marker pens. If you currently sell 1 million units a year, you sell 2 million units a year, happy days, you make more money. But it depends on the dynamics of where you work. So my background is largely offshore energy, oil and gas, renewables, that kind of thing. But one of the big things and the big selling points for clients is actually to do with efficiency, making sure there's no mistakes, so the quality is really, really good, but also delivery time, and I'll explain why. I'm going to put lead time. So for instance, if you have a factory that produces parts, the more efficient you can get and the more parts you can make per hour, doesn't sound sexy, but what it enables you to do is within a day or a week or a month, produce 20% more, 30% more, etc., or produce them faster. And then likewise, with my background to do with basically offshore energy, where everything is very kind of high risk, that you don't want to get it wrong, and people really pay a premium to make sure that something is going to be, as good as it can be. What these are doing is actually enabling you to give you your USP. I'm just going to switch pens again. So if you're very efficient, you've got very good quality, and because you can be more efficient, you have shorter lead times, they develop into your USP, which then you can use to sell more. Because if the buying driver for the customer isn't price, but actually they need this piece of equipment in 10 weeks, and your competitors can only do it in 14 weeks, you're more likely to win the job, therefore you're going to increase sales. But actually what you're also doing is that you're making and implementing a better strategy to grow the business, which will then help you sell more, which then helps you invest more in the business and get much better. And I think most businesses, from marketing companies all the way through to, I guess, recruitment or whichever, people always focus on how do we sell more, how do we bring in more customers? But at the same time, you also need to be looking at your operations. How do you get slicker, faster, more efficient, get your lead times down, reduce the amount of stock inventory that you have to hold, which therefore reduces your cash flow, which means you can invest more in different stuff. Most people don't talk about the operations side of it. And again, it's not very sexy, but that's part of, say, because I work in and I help run these companies, when you've got a viewpoint on that kind of thing, it's really important. As a prime example, because I like to break this back down to real world stuff for freelancers and people that are first starting out, because they might think, well, you know what, I don't have a factory, I don't have stock, why do I need that? Even with the business course, when I first started out, if I got an order for 5 packs, I would build up the box, build each pack, ship them out one at a time. And what I realized, it was a very inefficient use of time. But then likewise, because I'm busy doing my day job, I can't always decide, or I might not have time to build that in time to then get to, the post office in time to send it to the customer. So one of the things I did for my own operations is that I now have a pile of 300 packs right next to me, already made up, done, so that if an order comes in, I can actually print out their address and get it in the post within 20 minutes. And my point is that even as a sole trader, as a single person, there are still lots of things that you can do to improve your efficiencies, to actually just get better at what you do. And then the other one which just relates to this, and I purposely picked myself just because I can talk about it and it might, resonate with some people, is that part of the reason I also wanted my own office is that I could have the lights, the camera equipment, everything set up all the time, so that over time, as these kind of increase in frequency and hopefully maybe in different languages and different things, I don't have to set them up from scratch. And what that does, that saves me hours a week, which I can then sell either more consultant hours or put more time into the roadmap, but actually it's a conscious awareness of both sales and operations, and I believe that you should kind of do the same.